March 2008, 20 Canadian and 12 Nepalese women from different backgrounds participated in the Women's Trek for Peace and Development in Nepal. This incredible venture was organized by the Centre for International Studies and Cooperation, one of the most important non-governmental organizations working in international cooperation in Quebec and Canada. This rich exchange allowed participants to understand some of the social inclusion issues faced by remote Nepalese women who daily experience discrimination based on gender, caste, and ethnic origin. Afterwards, the participants discussed peace and development initiatives that could be implemented in Nepal by CECI, by UNITERA, an international voluntary program, and by their local partner organizations.
How can we expand the pie by joining hands together and having a one common voice of the civil society?
Jana awaaz means voice of the people in Nepalese. It's a voice not often heard in a country that has endured discrimination, a caste system, and autocratic politics for centuries. A peace treaty finally emerged following a decade of conflict that had been instigated by a deeply dissatisfied population. Jana awaaz, a CECI project, focuses mainly on increasing the number of people who are normally excluded from the political sphere into the constitutional process. In the spirit of civic engagement, this non-partisan initiative of civil society validates the economic and social rights of marginalized people.
If I go back to the time when the conflict started in '96, I think CECI has already been affected since then, as soon as the violence started. I'm very happy to say that we have been able to adjust to the situation and also divert our priorities to work in conflict. So that's how our strategies around peace building develop. Like even the project Jana awaaz itself is an outcome of the present context, because CECI has never been involved in a political affiliated project. We cannot afford to be non-political. We have to be political, and we have to have an important role to play in the present political transformation process.
The main goal of CECI in Nepal is economic development in order to reduce poverty. The organization focuses on agriculture, forestry, dairy, and community health. But in response to the political context, they have also added other projects that focus on empowering the marginalized.
Gender, social inclusion is a major issue in Nepal, especially in the rural areas. There is more discrimination. Our main goal is to increase the participation of women, increase the participation of excluded people, and also to raise their capacity so that they can participate in a meaningful way. It's not only increasing numbers. First thing is we have to understand that they are socially deprived, economically deprived. So including them means increase their prestige in the society.
FECOFUN, the Federation of Community Forest Users Group, is a partner of CECI and UNITERA involved in the Jana awaaz project. As the biggest civil society organization in Nepal, FECOFUN's large network reaches a diverse population. The Federation addresses gender issues, actively works to promote women's leadership, and since the uprising has been proactive in advocating for peace, democracy, and social justice. In Nepal, the democratization process has just begun, and people traditionally excluded are demanding equality at social and political levels, equal access to natural resources and healthcare, and equal access to education and employment opportunities. In short, an end to discrimination.
We are looking towards a new Nepal. So what are the factors that will build our national integrity? So that is the process that nobody has really spoken about. And I think we really need to focus more about how can we, a CECI organization like CECI, how can we start a process where we can bring all these groups together and say, first we are Nepalis. Before we are women, Janjati, Dalits, or disabled, first we are Nepal. So what is the connecting factors that builds us together before we talk about our differences?
Besides awareness campaigns involving posters and educational brochures, social theater is a very effective way to mobilize communities.
Theater is the mirror of the society, and people see, and then people feel and people empathize, so that it's very effective. We collect the true stories from those villages, and we compile those stories, and we dramatize them, and then we go to the same areas, and we perform their stories. They find themselves in the theater. After this performance, they realize that we all are human beings, and then we have to work together for the betterment of the society.
I think the end thing is for the civil society to have a voice of their own where we say we are not going to be manipulated again. We want to stand for our rights, and these are the common values, common issues that we Nepalese have to stand up for our rights.